Welcome to another episode of Independent Artists Unite song series. Very excited today to have the wondrous Vølve with us today, talking about her debut single. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you. It's so nice to be back.
And thank you for making the time to talk to me during your Europe, country hopping vacation. We
Yeah,
tried to talk in Italy. Now we're talking in Paris. You know how it is.
yeah, we're cosmopolitans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This song is so gorgeous, and I am so privileged that I got to hear it along the way.
Mhm.
And still, sometimes if you hear things along the way and then you hear the final thing, you're like, yeah, I heard it already. But somehow the impact of the final song was not lessened by my witnessing of its development. I mean, something magical happened along the way. Actually, I heard Seal talk about this with his song Prayer for the Dying, that was
Love that
produced by
one.
Trevor Horn. And he and
Yeah.
Trevor Horn were like this,
Mm.
and Seal they kept working and working on it. Seal was like, look, I'm out. I cannot work on this song anymore. What is what? And Trevor Horn was like, yeah, but it's not a record yet. It's not a record. And Seal was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then when it finally came out, it came on the phone, it came over the radio, and Seal says he pulled his car over to the side and just listened to it in shock. And then he got it. He was like, it was a record, like it was jumping out of the speakers.
Yeah, yeah.
And um I really feel like that's has what happened with this song.
Mm.
I mean, I really of course I recognized the beauty along the way, but the final thing was just like whoosh.
Yeah. Something happened, that's for sure. And the beautiful thing was that you heard it when it was just a demo,
Mm,
and uh, and and uh, and when we did the first mix, it's James K. Ultra who mixed it, uh,
yeah.
our friend, and the amazing mixing engineer, James K. Ultra, and I sent him this song, and he really liked it, and I was like, it's my first own production. I mean,
Mm,
I'm not that used to producing my own stuff, so I kind of lowered his expectations a lot, I think. So when he heard it, he was like, "What on earth?"
yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
already there we had something going, and
yeah.
we did a mix that was really really good. But I found out that I wasn't really happy with my vocals. I just thought I could do it better, and then I did another round when I was in Berlin, actually.
Oh, really? You did a whole nother performance. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did.
yeah.
So the lead song was recorded recently in Berlin, and I did a lot of additional vocals as well. And when James got that and got to work with that, that was when the real magic happened, because then it just lifted up and it became a unit.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, yeah, he'd done some amazing work on the
mm.
first version, and with the cellos and with the atmosphere. But when the vocals and the additional vocals came in, that was really when it created
Mm,
universe. Is what
yeah.
we, yeah,
Well, it was, I mean, knowing you both, for me also, I was like in this incredible position to witness this development, but also I had behind the scene things where, because I would, send voicemails back and forth with James about it, and he was just like, I love this so much. I mean, this is like the best thing that I've ever done, and I'm so proud of this cello sounds, and
yeah,
Helena's vocals are just so incredible, and this is just like really special. So I had it coming from all sides.
yeah.
but I can
Yeah,
tell you, he just loved this experience of working on this song too.
yeah. It was
And
really an amazing experience, and thank you also for your feedback along the way. It really has encouraged me to take these steps to become a solo artist.
oh, really? Well, I have no idea what I've said except, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but sometimes that's just the thing you
Sometimes
need
that's
to.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But talk about like the genesis of the song. Like, how did it start out? Did it start with words or an idea of what you wanted to do, or just playing around with music, or on did it start on piano or guitar? I actually don't know that.
No, it started on as music. It started on the piano, and I had this cello line in my head that I knew that I wanted to
Mm,
try. So I started with the piano, and then I started working on the cellos. And as soon as I had this line down, I knew that, okay, this is something I'm gonna finish. This is something I'm gonna work on. And then I worked on the music for a long time, but I couldn't really fit in vocals. Uh,
mm,
I tried, but it just called for something that I haven't really tried before.
mm.
And in the end, I just thought, okay, it needs more words. Like
Okay.
it needed something a little more dramatic,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
when you just say that, now I realize that it's almost like the cadence of the vocals is almost like the rhythm section in parts, because the rest of it is so kind of etheric. Yeah.
especially in the chorus, I thought it needed some more words there,
Mm.
and I all of a sudden I had this. It's a lot of images, and if yeah, do you want me to talk about the lyrics? Because
Yeah, I mean, read the lyrics for us, if you will, because I also just think this is such a beautiful standalone piece of poetry.
thanks. Um, yeah, do you want me to read it first or talk about it? What do you think?
Yeah, and I don't think we've said the title yet either, Enter the
Yeah,
Unknown. Yeah,
it's called Enter the Unknown. Should I read it then?
yeah, yeah, please.
Okay. First, she took the sun and moon and put them in a box. Then she saw the stars, and soon they were her precious rocks. She waved her hands above the sea and sprinkled little lights, collected them like memories, and held onto them tight. And then there's the chorus. Comes from the river up north of the sea, sharing their secrets to the ones who see, hearing them calling from deep down inside, inviting to walk with the faith of a child. These woods were not meant for mortals to find. The mist and the trees, the calls and appeals, you enter the unknown. She tried to make them dance and sing, but could not have her way. Then she opened up her grip and gave it all away. And then there's another chorus. So that's it. And I knew that I wanted to make something about doing something out of habit, something I
Mm,
hadn't done. So this entering the unknown was kind of the whole project of me be going solo, leaving my band and
yeah,
becoming a
yeah.
solo, was entering the unknown, and was also okay. Now I have to like rely on my own power instead of the group power you have together.
Mm,
So I was, and I we had also had a little along the way. There's been some talk about this about what is female power,
mm,
and how is it perceived by people, and sometimes um it's still a little bit like female anger. You often call angry women hysterical, or
mm,
so there's a lot of taboo around strong emotions and power in women. And I had been soul searching a lot to see if I could like it, because when you hear the criticism about like being too much or being headstrong and stuff like that, I've been soul searching to find out if is that right, is that a problem I have, should I work on that? And then I realized after a long time that no, I'm not gonna accommodate that. And it's a thing in the time as well. Should women be less to if egos come in the way? And the answer is in this song. No, let's embrace the female power. Let's enter the unknown, and let's. For me, it was like I'm gonna take charge now myself. And as scary as it is, and as it's also really, really, really a big relief. So so it has a lot of meaning about, and I'm in the lyrics I'm talking about this goddess who's playing with the moon and stars, and it's not to say that that's me, but it's the thing about like, what do you have in your hands? How do you move the things around, and and the end result? What is it gonna be? And I think I've been trying for years to work with the band I was in before, and we just kept coming to some conflict, and the thing about giving it away and see what happens was also a really big challenge, but also a big relief once I've done it. So that's also why it's a huge I don't know how to describe the feeling, that the way
just
people
like
are
a weight
receiving
off. Yeah. Oh, that are receiving it.
yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
people,
yeah,
yeah, I've just gotten so much wonderful feedback from people, and it's touched people that I don't even know, and people are writing about. So I'm really like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
um, things that I've been trying to break through for a long time with the band suddenly
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
like
yeah.
easier now. So
Well,
that's just yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was also privileged to have seen your band over the years, and I probably have told you my whole thing with the band. I've really enjoyed it, but I'm always like, just let me hear the vocals.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just like, over the years I just wanted to hear your vocals more out front. So it was just like such a gift when this song came along, that you and your vocals are just like riding on this, just up and out in front on this beautiful, atmosphere of music. I really so I really enjoyed that selfishly as a follower and listener of your music. um and
Yeah, that's really encouraging as well to know that, oh, you really want to hear the vocals. You don't think it's too much and all that.
yeah, 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 yeah. But
So
I've done some research too now on the
okay.
name Vølve, Vølve.
Mhm.
That there is this like kind of Norse mythology surrounding it, right? That there's some it's the idea of like a feminine power. Is it like a term for like feminine power? But then there's also a character or something too, or like a recurring, yeah,
It's
that comes from. Is it a wolf or something too? I couldn't quite understand.
it's
Obviously, I have 15 years in Denmark and I can't understand.
no, but
Can't
many
understand
people,
anything. Yeah.
no, it's ancient, and many people don't know. But the Vølve is the ancestor to the witch. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, she was a wise woman, but she had a different status in the society that was in the Iron Age, and and they were seers. I mean, they told
Okay.
yeah, they were fortune tellers.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
foresee things, and they could like they had their magic, but they were really valued by society as a wise woman. So it was before Christianity that I just learned a term for as the first cancel culture, which I think was funny.
Powerful
So,
women, you're canceled.
yeah, exactly.
We got a new dude we're getting behind.
Yeah, now we're with the dude. Yeah. So all the women canceled, and all the magic was banned. In Denmark was banned. Probably also a lot of other countries, but even the white magic was banned. I mean, just saying blessing over the cow so it would give more milk was banned. And then there was a long period of and it even, I mean, a witch now, if you say the word witch, you think of a someone evil or someone with bad intentions and someone messing up things for the princess, coming in the way of and
Right,
someone
yeah.
old and jealous and all that. But the Vølve was a woman who knew things and passed on from woman to woman.
Or like a treasured part of society. Yeah.
Like a shaman in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I chose the name, I really just like the name. I like the way it sounds, Vølve. And then I was really liked this very powerful witchy woman who embraces her own power. So in that way, it has given me courage to my own power as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because of course I've been on my own witch journey too. That I put a quick plug in for my new single, "Witch's Curse," that you also agreed to lend your beautiful voice to. And thank you again for that. It's interesting because I've been really thinking about this thing of witches and witchcraft because it's like this kind of like spirituality that I feel like I've arrived at in life, that is completely void of all, religiosity or any of your basic characters that religion has to offer. And it's like what I'm left with is like like witchcraft or like I mean the similarities, you know what I mean, of like this kind of spirituality movement and really what the vulva and and witches were really about, like you said, which is really one with nature and a respect for nature and really like I don't know if it's really stated, but it really reminds me of like this, alignment with a higher self or, that is in touch with nature and everyone else. I mean, it really is this of this, like I am one with the source of all things kind of spiritual concept. And it's really interesting to me, like it never occurred to me before that like, oh, we're after all of this stuff, it's kind of circling around back to like this basic pagan beliefs that I find like the most real, like the most truthful,
Of course, they also had a lot of funny things like if you they used a lot of the church, not the Vølve, but the witches later. A lot of naive and funny stuff that they did that is not a part of like what we're embracing now in modern times. We're more like with the one with nature and one with the spirit and the inward searching and the capitalism and search for possessions. That is like the way the world works. So many are drawn to the more like introspective and one with nature spiritualism that you're describing. Yeah.
Mm. Do you
Yeah.
mean like little rituals and things like that, or like,
Yeah, they had
yeah,
those, yeah, and like what's it called, the place in the church where you have the water, the holy water, so
yeah,
you guys, oh, baptism,
yeah, baptism water, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but the thing itself that it was
Oh,
in,
okay, the vessel that was in. Okay,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know what that's called.
it,
Yeah.
it was said that if you peed in a vessel like that, then you could be cured of all kind of ills. So people came into churches and peed in these, and that was
Who's to
a
say?
very,
Who's to say?
who's to say? Who's to say? Yeah, but that's a kind of a more funny. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was their revenge on religion in a way,
Yeah,
maybe.
right.
Yeah. But I mean, it was really dangerous. They got burned one after the other at the stake
Yeah.
at, through hundreds of years. So it's not only I mean it's a real thing that religion and patriarchy um, really made it dangerous to be a woman of power and a woman of magic uh,
Mm.
through time. And,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm still feeling, that is, even though we're not like that anymore, we're not burning witches anymore, we're still like there's still a lot of female power and female energies that are like
Kind of
stigmatized. Yeah.
villainized, or yeah, or
Oh,
stigmatized. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and
Or vilified. Yeah.
yeah, and when you grow up as as a girl, there are things you learn that, oh, don't be like that, don't be a witch, and don't be, and so I'm unlearning some
Mm.
people pleasing in that area as well.
Yeah. It's amazing
Inspired by
how.
the Vølve, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Inspired by the Vølve as well.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how all these things are baked into a culture and our interactions, and even the language. I mean, we've joked before about Danish, where you're from, and where I live now in Denmark. This kind of where this kind of suppression of women, or like it's even like, I don't know, what would you call it in the Danish language, where there's just some mean things when it comes to, like a woman's nipple being called a breast wart, and like pubic hair is shame hair. I mean, it's changing like a little bit, but it's like this is really where it came from. It's just like, how? What? Why?
Yeah, but and you have to like realize it, because if you just grown up with it, like every other kind of stigma, what's it called? Yeah,
Yeah,
every other
yeah.
kind of ism that you work that you work into your culture, then
Mm,
you have to wake up to it, and luckily people are waking up to it, but it's still a struggle, and there's still a very strong anti-movement, as you know, from, yeah, as we see in the world with anti-gay and anti-LGBT and
mm,
anti-abortion, anti I don't know what. So there's a
no,
lot of that. There's the struggle is real, and
yeah,
the fight is important, I
yeah,
think. Mm.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I think well, yeah, I mean, having two daughters, like, and as I learned the language, that's where it kind of hit me. I was like, what? But then I didn't, but then I had to come in retroactively into English and realize, oh, because as I was learning Danish, I was looking, oh, ha, 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 you savages,
Yeah,
this language you have. And then I start thinking about English and what we do,
yeah,
what we do there. And I think is really not any better. In fact, maybe it's worse because it's not so obvious, and it takes even longer to
Yeah, but
unwind. I don't know.
it's not obvious to you, but I mean that's the same in Danish. It's not obvious
Yeah.
to us. So that's why we don't we're not offended by it, except if we really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So and I think Denmark is behind in a way many other places in the world, because we have this understanding of ourselves that we don't discriminate in Denmark. That's our self-understanding. That's our narrative. But
Yeah.
we really, really do. But it's
Mm,
like, no, we don't. It's like we're not seeing it.
mm,
So it's really, really a question of bias and a question of cultural, like when the narrative is so strong that we were the ones who helped the Jews under World War
mm,
II, escaped Sweden, and we had a big resistance against the Nazis and all. So we have this understanding of ourselves as really, really good people, and then
mm,
it's harder to see the bias because in Denmark there's a lot of discrimination, not only against women but against people with disabilities and yeah, and people of color and people of yeah, even in classes we have discrimination between
mm.
class.
Yeah, man. I wanted to ask you too, just about um, your relationship to nature, because what really comes through in this, and I guess it's some with some of the promo reels that you've done as well, leading up to the release of the single, that you really get this like love that you have of nature. And have you always had that, or is that something that's you've appreciated as time, or is that like grown with with this whole other journey that that you were describing?
Well, I've had it. Well, everybody knows the feeling when you go into a beautiful forest and you just feel this green energy that
Mm,
like it charges your batteries instantly.
mm,
Uh, but at times when I've been taking making a big decision or having like a path to choose from for, where the soul is involved, I've
mm,
been seeking out places to feel the magic of nature. and uh,
mm,
and when I was finishing this song, I was in Ireland, in West Ireland, and where we traveled out to a very, very beautiful forest where there's small waterfalls, and it's like they believe in fairies and stuff, and
mm,
I'm totally with them. I mean, it's like there's an energy there that you just can't deny it.
mm,
And I've also been in Scotland and seen some of they have these fairy pools that are natural made, like bassinets where the water flows from one to the other, and that it's said that the
mm,
fairies are bathing there at night.
mm,
I was like, yes, I'm sure they're right here beside us. I mean, you can just feel that. Of course, there's magic and there's magical beings and there's this kind of pull, like a language you don't quite understand, but you just feel soothed by it, and maybe it's a
mm,
little bit dangerous also. I mean, and there's a lot of that feeling that I feel is in the song also.
mm.
The
Yeah.
the connectedness, but also this. Okay, I'm not really sure what's happening. I'm not really sure what they're saying to me, but I'm listening. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Really.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's someone I follow. Well, we're TikTokers, you and me, of
Yeah,
course. We're
yeah.
TikTokers. But
You
someone
say
I
it in.
follow on TikTok. So this woman I follow on TikTok, she talks about um a lot of this stuff and fairies in the woods and you know and different kind of goddesses of the wood and spirits in the wood and stuff. And she talks about making an offering you know, to the fairies and say, whenever you come, like, you know, almost even like a sandwich or a little thing of wine or something. And
Yeah.
yeah, I want, we're almost out of time, but I wanted to say, I feel like that this song is a beautiful offering
Oh,
to all of those creatures. Yeah.
yeah.
And
That's
and
enough.
I also want to just close with just my favorite line in this is that you know, walking with the faith of a child. I mean, actually, I just got tears in my eyes right now when you said that, when I said that. Um, that is like it it's like sometimes these lines hit you that are
Mm.
just like, oh, that's everything, you know, like that this is my, like somehow in that line I feel like it encapsulates my whole like view on life, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
get to that
mm.
point, you
Where
know,
you can walk
aim
with the,
for that point when you're walking with the faith of a child,
yeah,
you know. But
yeah.
thank you for the song, and
Thank
thank you for
thank you for
taking the time for your pan-European vacation to. It's
yeah,
interesting that, and this song is so beautiful how you went through all these European countries as well during
yeah,
its development. It's really it
yeah.
really
It's
I feel
it's
like you can hear that in there too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Well, enjoy the rest of your vacation. Thanks for
Thanks a
taking the
lot.
time.
Thanks.
Love
And
you.
love you.
See
Bye.
you.